There's a certain stigma that surrounds the content made for a younger generation. A lot of media assumes that the youth aren't capable of intelligent thought. They don't treat their viewers with the respect they deserve, often pointing to their short attention spans. But I think that the younger generation, now more than ever, are hungrier for content that isn't afraid to challenge them. They want content that gives them a voice, that isn't afraid to shine a mirror to their reality. But when companies weren't giving them the content they needed, they decided to make it themselves.
Hi gang, just woke up, so I thought I'd serenade you with a song.
This is Bo Burnham, and if you watched YouTube at all during the year 2006, you may already be familiar. During the website's early days, Bo became one of YouTube's first viral sensations, back when that actually meant something. His brand of silly, self-deprecating humor mixed with his undeniable musical talent earned him a massive following on the still-growing platform. After transitioning to other mediums like stand-up comedy and Vine,
is there anything better than pussy? Yes, a really good book.
Bo quickly carved his way into becoming one of the most original and thought-provoking artists working today.
Art is dead. Art is dead. Art.
His comedy, while silly and immature at times, had a layer of tragedy and humility. He wasn't afraid to be honest about himself or the culture surrounding him, which is why I think so much of his work still stays with people today. While I would love to talk about one of his 3 stand-up specials, his book, or that award-winning movie he directed, today, I want to talk about one of his projects that is rarely, if ever, talked about. A TV show that tapped into the sensibilities of an entire generation.
Zack Stone is gonna be famous. 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 Zack Stone. Zack Stone.
Zack Stone is Gonna Be Famous, co-created by Bo Burnham and David Lagana, premiered on MTV in the spring of 2013. The show centered around Zack Stone, a recent high school graduate who decides to skip college and instead embark on the journey of becoming famous despite not having any real talent. In each episode, a camera crew paid for with Zack's life savings documents him as he tries to become a famous singer, chef, actor, and so on. There's even a new theme song for each episode.
Zack Stone is gonna be a famous recording artist and everyone will love him.
Zack Stone is gonna be a famous chef.
Zack Stone is gonna be an actor.
When talking about his inspiration for the show, Burnham said, quote, "We read this study polling graduating high school seniors about what they wanted to be when they grew up, and 40% said famous. That was the number one answer, famous." With a premise that would make it easy to come off as preachy or disingenuous, Zack Stone strikes the right balance of satirization and self-awareness. The show never gets lost in its own absurdity, with the emotional ramifications of Zack's journey taking center stage.
I just feel like these cameras, they make me choose between the people I care about, like my family, and the things I care about, like my inevitable fame and fortune.
Mockumentary comedies are nothing new in a post office landscape. Tons of shows have done it, and some have warranted the format, others have not. Seriously, who is even filming Parks and Rec? I don't understand. But what makes Zack Stone work is that it never forgets the cameras are rolling. Characters interact with them and acknowledge them constantly. We even get to interact with the crew behind the cameras. Better yet, the logic behind having a camera crew following Zack around is embedded into the story and cinematography.
Dude, what did you do to my posters? I don't want to have clearance issues, Andy.
Who's making this documentary? Well, Zack Stone, of course. Why is it being made? Well, he wants to be famous. Why is there a camera in another person's car? Well, there wasn't enough room in Zack's car. The cameras don't hinder the show, they add to it. Everything that's being filmed has a reason to be filmed.
Can't you guys, cut when he's in the bathroom?
Zack likes to record people looking sad when he's not around.
Like Bo's comedy, Zack Stone is cleverly written and silly, but also has a layer of truth behind it. In any other hands, I feel as though the character of Zack Stone simply would not have worked. His grandeurs of fame stem from a desire for attention. Zack wasn't very popular in high school. In fact, he was invisible to most people.
To Christy and all of her hunks, I was just another stupid kid with a monogram mug in the hallway, and now I'm the kid with the camera crew and the huge dreams and the fat sound guy.
Zack also doesn't receive the attention he craves at home, which manifests itself as jealousy toward his athletic younger brother.
So Andy's gone for 2 hours, and you're ready to call the police? I'm gone for an entire day. No one's concerned. The ransom video didn't scare you.
Zack doesn't have any real talent because if he isn't immediately good at something, he quits.
What exactly are you going to be famous for, Zack? You don't act or sing.
You don't even have hidden talents.
You give up on anything that takes patience or discipline. You quit piano lessons because the stool was uncomfortable.
Okay, you didn't sit on the stool, so you can't talk.
Zack is naive, vain, ostentatious, self-centered, impatient, and at times manipulative. However, the show goes to great lengths to make sure to humanize Zack and ground him in reality.
I had a journey with Zack, hopefully, that the audience has over time, which is like, I'm so annoyed with this kid up front. He's so obnoxious, he's so abrasive. I want to hate him because everything about him seems hateable. And I slowly realized that, like, no, he's a good kid. I don't really mind him that much.
Zack is a product of the society that surrounds him. It becomes apparent that Zack isn't an arrogant, cocky kid, but rather a kid trying so hard to be those things because that's how he thinks famous people act. He uses the idea of fame as a solution to all of his problems. He starts to hang out with the hottest, most vapid girl from his high school because that's what famous people do. He rebels against his parents because that's where he thinks great art comes from. He makes songs that are 12 seconds long because America loves a chorus, right?
Rules! Your rules! They aren't for this guy!
While Zack's actions may be silly or misguided, they come from a real place. The audience may not agree with his choices, but they understand his motivation in making them. It's this sense of understanding that I feel endears the show to its intended audience. For example, a constant theme of the show is Zack's fear of his friends leaving for college and forgetting about him.
Look, next time I get excited about something, I'm gonna get in my car, I'm gonna rush over to your house, I'm gonna come up these stairs, bust through this door, and you're not gonna be here, okay? This room's gonna be empty.
Instead of dealing with his feelings, he grows progressively more jealous of his friends and starts to push them away. While his intentions are self-serving, deep down he's just scared of the future. Take the episode Zack Stone is Gonna Get Wild. In the episode, Zack gets accepted to a college after being waitlisted. While everyone expects him to go now that he's been admitted, Zack is adamant on continuing his journey of being famous.
Dude, why would you not go to college?
Dude, why would you dress like you're auditioning for a Go-Go commercial all the time?
Hey, you should be proud of this.
Proud of what? Potential student debt? Say it with me, parents. We don't want this.
But after being invited to a college party, Zack decides to use this opportunity to film a Girls Gone Wild style video called Bros Gone Wild. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. After discovering that the party has a severe lack of bros...
Any of you girls got boyfriends?
No, we're all single.
Damn it! These girls are a dead end.
Zack makes friends with two people outside of the party. Thinking that he may have had the wrong impression of college, he decides to attend another party, this time opting to leave the cameras behind. In any other show, this moment would have been used to show the main character how wrong he is about college. But Zack Stone is Gonna Be Famous doesn't do that. Instead, when the film crew decides to check up on him, they see that he's completely alone and uncomfortable. Fearing that college will be exactly like high school, Zack doubles down on his efforts to be famous. The episode ends with a touching moment between Zack and his dad, where Zack's dad tells him to do what makes him happy, even if it means not going to college.
I know, when all your friends are doing one thing, it's not easy to decide to do something completely different. Believe it or not, at the end of the day, I think you should do what you love to do. 'Cause that's what I did. I haven't regretted it a day in my life.
In a time where there is so much pressure on teenagers to go to college, it's refreshing to see a show be honest. College isn't for everyone, and that's okay. Moments like this are the reason why we, the audience, end up rooting for Zack instead of wishing for his downfall. We realize that underneath all the bravado and enthusiasm lies a scared, insecure kid who just wants to find happiness. Moments like this also highlight the fantastic ensemble cast the show has. The ensemble cast of Zack Stone is one of the strongest I've seen since Community, and that is really saying something. Sure, they're not as funny as Zack, although they do have their moments.
And Amy, please don't be in there.
Relax, I'm just packing you a bag. Who is Hen Tai?
I don't like, that's not, I don't.
However, their power doesn't rely on comedic relief. If Zack is the funny man, then the characters around him are the straight man. Everyone around Zack feels like a real person. They have their own wants and desires, and their lives do not revolve around Zack's antics. The weirdness of Zack's journey isn't lost on anyone. Take the relationship between Zack and his parents. While they support Zack in his dream, at the end of the day, they want what they think is best for him. When he gets accepted into college, they want him to at least consider it.
Listen, you know, if your dad could do it over again,
please.
college would have opened a few more doors for him, okay? It's a safer choice, Zack.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I want the best for you.
Every relationship is believable. They have their moments of silliness and their moments of seriousness, which is the case with all of Zack's relationships in the show.
I got a lot of stuff to do today.
All right.
Okay, and I don't know why my stuff's never as important as your stuff.
Dude, yeah, you swallowed a lot of water, okay? I think you're not thinking correctly.
No, you're being a again. What's happening?
Everyone knows someone like the characters on Zack Stone. Hell, everyone knows someone like Zack Stone. The show embodies what it's like to live in a society where everyone wants to be famous, but no one wants to do the work. Where we constantly feel like we have to put on an act for the people around us. The only difference between us and Zack are the cameras. Zack Stone Is Gonna Be Famous only ran for one season on MTV before getting canceled in June of 2013.
Come in. It's okay. I'll come back later.
Brother, what are you talking about? Come in.
No, really. It can wait.
Andy, seriously, come in.
Get out of my kitchen, mate! Get the out, you little.
I wish I could say the show has gained a cult following since its cancellation, like Arrested Development or Freaks and Geeks, but unfortunately it hasn't. Zack Stone remains a relatively obscure show that not a lot of people, outside of Bo Burnham's fanbase, have even heard about. I loved Zack Stone when I first watched it, and I fell even more in love when I rewatched it for this video. It truly was ahead of its time and never failed to make me smile. While I would have liked to see another season for the show, I also feel as though I don't need another season. The show's 12 episodes stand alone perfectly and deliver a clear, concise beginning, middle, and end of Zack's journey. If you haven't, please check out Zack Stone Is Gonna Be Famous. I promise you it's worth your time.
So, now what are you gonna be famous for?
Off the top of my head,